So a couple things I'm seeing on here. Build 163. This is interesting, by the way. It looks great on the emulator, but the fonts aren't showing up. I think we know about that problem. So I just have to I always have to wipe. I always wipe down the user data so that I'm always kind of starting over. By the way, that sound is that's a truncated version of the sound that Harsh was using. The full version of the sound should be in the M4A. So hopefully that's not what the M4A sounds like. I'll have to double check all this. Okay, let's see. What am I seeing? I went through Galactic Chart. I have an iPhone video that I made. There's a few things that need to be implemented. Mainly a track button needs to be put here so that we can same functionality as search, except that it's called track. Or you can combine them. In the original Space Trader, it was just search. You search for the system, and if it found the system, it would come up and say, well, when do you want to track this system? That's not how, so you can look at the iPhone video, decide how you best want to implement it, but we definitely need an ability to track. Right now we only have the ability to search. The other thing that we need is basically forward and backward buttons so that you can scroll through the systems alphabetically. And they're going to be probably randomized all over the place, but we need the feature, and the iPhone video will explain why. But so those are the two things. Forward and backwards navigation to scroll through these alphabetically, and the track feature. And a couple other things I'm seeing. Let's see. Yeah, so thank goodness for the test mode. Right? Let's do that too. If you, there's just a couple other quick things I want to point out. You probably know this, but these should be words. This should be large. This should be, there are word equivalents for these values. So police, it would be many or few or something like that, or in place of these numbers. I don't think you're quite done with the passengers implementation yet. What this is doing is asking to greet a GPTA. So this is something that was put into the newer version of the iPhone code. It shouldn't be giving this function here. This actually ends up being here, is where that would give you the dialog to see if you wanted to accept these rules. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the way that this whole thing is hidden so deep in here, and I know other people aren't either because I've gotten complaints about it. So, basically you go into Commander Status, and there's a whole, as you know, a whole other sort of number of interfaces here. One of them is GPTA, and this is where you would accept that. Maybe not such a great interface design, but this, I don't think it should be here. This is just seems kind of out of place. So to be on the system info screen. Other thing going on is news. So this is good. We get prompted to buy it. Yes. This actually should bring up a window with the news. What it's doing here is it's cycling through some news, which is interesting, but that's not the way it should be working. So there's one tricky thing with the news, and we had this problem in the iPhone with people trying to figure it out. There's this news, which is what you buy. That's the news for basically the systems, the local systems. So that's news for a bunch of these systems around here. Okay. And then there's this, which is no rain in sight. That's the news for this particular system. That's free. So, and I can go through an iPhone video and show you how this works, but basically it's when you get to the system, you get system information. There's a number of little one-line news things that are particular to this exact system. And then there's the news. And the news, once you do this, if you say yes, it should actually bring up another window showing you the news for all the systems that are around you. So there's two different sort of news type things. And I can't remember now how it looked in the code. I remember going through it, but that's just a quick thing. And if you want me to do a video, I'll do that for you. Let's see. I think we talked about wormholes probably not working yet. So that's a big thing. There we go. So attack level 7, which is high tech. I should say high tech. We'll go over there so we can buy a good ship. So we're getting our quests, which is great. I'm not going to do it though. I'm going to fall for it. Oh, that's the other thing. And I'll show you that a little bit more. During combat, I've been noticing. Oh, by the way, so first things first. The ship is repairing itself, or the ship is being repaired, which is good. That's based on your engineering skill. So my ship got pretty well repaired by the time it got here. Let's buy a new ship. I want to show you a couple things here. So we had an info button here on all of these. I like the pictures of the ships, but it's not, to me, it's not obvious that you can get information about them. So we might need to think about an interface, maybe just, it could be something down here or something that lets people know that these are buttons, that they can click on them and get information about them. To me, that's not quite obvious. So there's a couple things there about the way that this is working. Yeah, so this is sort of an Android interface issue because people are used to using the back button on Android, and I'm finally getting used to that too. So maybe this is the way this is working. Okay, so my back button's not working on this. So we need to decide how to navigate some of these type of screens, because if we close out, we go all the way back to here. Whereas that's pretty laborious if you want to actually go through and look at each ship. So we need a way to either, if you close out of here, then it should just exit you back into this screen instead of exiting you all the way back out to here. Or maybe we can use the back button here. I'm open to suggestions on that because the back button is just a very new thing to me, and I haven't had an Android for very long. So, but real quick, let's buy a new ship. Oops, shit. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. A couple weird behaviors here. This is the fact that it's all working is great, but if you go into buy equipment, the ship has multiple slots, like for weapons, but it won't let you buy multiple things on this screen. So if you say buy, confirm, it just takes the buttons away. The button should just stay, because in this case, in this case, the ship can hold multiple shields and multiple weapons. So here I say confirm. I need to actually come back out and then go back in, and I can buy another one, buy of these. And I'd have to go back out and go back in. Another one of these. Okay, now we're getting not enough slots. So now, because it does hold 3 weapons, so now I have not enough slots. So anyway, in this case, I don't mind taking the button away if the slots are full, I guess. But no, actually, yeah, let's just leave the button there all the time, because we have the alert saying not enough slots. So there's no reason to take the button away, unless the system doesn't sell the item, which in this case, most high-tech systems sell all the items. So this looks like it's working correctly. But yeah, so let's just not take the button away when you buy something. And then one thing I'm noticing on let's see, our repair system. One thing I'm noticing on combat is, and this is getting to be a really long video, but it seems like damage is happening too fast. And the example of that, hopefully I can show you an example of that. Okay, so here we have 2 pretty equal ships, both with full shields. I'm going to start attacking this guy. Okay, now, right now at least graphically, we both have, neither of us got hit, but it did tell us that we got hit. So, see this, we immediately went to a tremendous amount of damage. So, something's not quite working right with the way that, either the way that damage is being done, or the way that it's being displayed. Because, and I think it's actually the way that damage is being done. There shouldn't really be a way to damage a ship to go from full shields to almost completely destroyed in a couple hits. There shouldn't really be a way to do that. It should take quite a few more hits to get to this point, and you should see the shield peeling off, just like here you see the damage going up. You should see this shield first being eroded. But this is good that we're getting a scoop canister. Let's see if we actually get it. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm gonna try and get out of this encounter. And I'm probably gonna blow up. No, I made it. Okay. All right, the scoop worked. Great job on that. A little piece of detail that I almost forgot about, actually. So great job on that. So yeah, that was the only other thing I really wanted to show you was that damage thing is happening way too fast. You're going from full shields to completely blown up too quickly. So that's a wrap for this one.